Why are you nervous?
I don't know.
It's not a big deal. We're just hanging out. Not. We've sat down. We've talked so much.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that? Okay. What was your experience when you first met me? Okay. I first come in and I'm like, yeah, say you and Cameron. I'm like, yo, let's go get sushi with my family. What'd you think? What'd you think of me? I'm curious.
I was like, that's really cool.
That's what you thought?
Yeah.
I was like, so I wasn't like, when me and my wife were like, yo, come hang out with us.
Yeah. I was like, okay. It's like, cool.
The sushi was, what did we have?
No, we had dumplings.
That was disgusting.
It was at, downtown. I don't know what it was called.
Dude, David, I'm telling you, bro, it was so bad. Like, I remember we were sitting there and I was eating it. I didn't even eat my ramen and dumplings.
Yeah, it was like,
because we were trying to get boba, right?
Yeah, and then they were closed, and then the sushi was closed, I think, or like gonna close, and that was the only one that was open.
I think you were you and Chris and Eric and Erica, they were there. But like you were like kind of like, it was just like 3 of you guys who were the only young adults we had at the church when I first came, right?
Yeah.
So you told me one time that you were thinking about leaving too. Why? Why?
I just feel like there wasn't a community. I just didn't feel like connected. I felt like we didn't do anything. It was very, I don't know, it felt very just like, okay, you come to church Saturday and then like nothing else. Like it didn't feel like there was really any like connection there.
Yeah.
And I had seen like on social media that there was other churches that weren't Adventists, that they were like doing stuff and they like had like more music and they had more gatherings to get together, and I was like, that's really cool. Like I want that community. I want to feel like I have like friends in church.
Like, why is that important for you?
Just because I feel like life is hard, and like having people who are like-minded to you are it's important, you know, because I feel like the company you keep is who you become and who you are, like who you surround yourself with is how you act, how you talk, how you think, how you do anything. And so I feel like if you just kind of come into church and you leave and it's
and then just
like,
you come in 1 hour and then you're good for the next week. Yeah,
like, I mean, I get it, but I feel like there's not, you don't feel that like connection.
Yeah.
You know?
My father was really good at this. Like, I remember growing up, and like, he'd always establish like different events and different things that we'd do like with kids. And I remember I was always like, kind of excited to come to church. And so then, like, you know, when I grew up, like when I became a pastor and I was visiting with people and just getting to know them, I was like, I was always shocked that like they just had a different experience than me, you know? Because I just assumed that everyone had like the same type of vibe of church that I did growing up, you know, and that was before the divorce. After the divorce, things changed, but, you know, but for the most part, like church was something fun. Something was like my friends were at church rather than like I had more friends at church than I did at school, which for a lot of people, did you have that experience?
Not at all.
At all?
I had like, I think I had maybe one friend that I had here at church, but we weren't like super close. Like it was kind of
like back.
Yeah, it was just not super, I don't know, it wasn't super close.
It's interesting. Yeah, and I think a lot of people, like, that's their experience with church. It's kind of more like they come, they sit, they go. And I remember like when you like, because I call these things afterglow. Like for me, it's like I love hanging out with people, and then like I love to linger. And so when I invited you to come, I was worried that like you were gonna think me and Elizabeth were like being too pushy, you know. And so I was like, I remember talking to my wife, and I was like, I'm just gonna invite them. I mean, like, we're not done hanging out. Like, it looks, because everyone was leaving the bowling alley. I was like, I still want to hang out with people. And so I'm happy that you and Cameron were willing to come hang out with us. Guys, this is Sabrina. If you don't know Sabrina, Sabrina Martinez, right? Did I get the last name right?
Yeah,
all right, cool. If you want to change her last name, she's single, she's ready to mingle, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, welcome back to Beyond the Pulpit. I'm here with Sabrina. Sabrina, say hello to your adoring fans.
Hello.
You gotta say more than hello.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Just kidding. And we got our man over here, David. You can't see him, but he's here hanging out with us. And today we get to have just a really cool conversation with Sabrina. Sabrina, you have been such a faithful member in my time here at Advent Life. Like, I think you were the first to really buy in on the vision here that we were creating. before we had the cafe bar, which she's our barista here at Avian Life. But I remember it was here in this office. You don't know this, David. Were you here for that?
I wasn't.
No, right. And we made like some makeshift table, remember? And I was like, Sabrina, do you want to learn how to make coffee? Because Douglas was doing it. And Sabrina was like, okay. And then Sabrina just being here and like, remember the coffee maker we had? It's so funny how things have changed. But
Oh yeah.
But tell us just a little bit about yourself, just briefly. Like, who are you? Where do you come from? Like, people just watching. Like, how would you describe you, Sabrina?
I would say I'm a very creative person. I do hair for a living.
I think we could see that by her hair.
Yeah.
There you go.
Colorful hair. I grew up SDA.
Okay, cool.
So like I've been involved in the church my whole life. But yeah, I just have been kind of
cruising.
Always, just here around.
So what about like your childhood? Like, I know people don't know this, but like, tell me a little bit about your childhood. Like, how was it being raised by your family? What was it like for you?
It was very, to be honest, very double-sided.
Interesting.
I feel like I had a lot of really good like structural upbringing, like going to church. My parents are very like strict. I was very good in school. Like I had a very good structure. But then it was also very abusive and toxic and unhealthy. So it was very confusing. And those lines of what life should and shouldn't look like were very blurred.
Tell me more about that. Like, give me an example.
For example, I would say we would come to church every Saturday, and my parents were really involved in the church from when I was young. They, did their own ministries, whatever. But then we would go home, and there would be arguments and fights and physical abuse and all these other things that don't match up and align with, being a part of a community that's supposed to be about love.
So you had an experience at church that didn't match up to your life's experience at home. Yeah. And for you, what kind of picture of Jesus did that create for you? I'm curious.
Honestly, it made me angry. It made me angry that, I don't know, that people who can be involved with this community can do things like that. It made me very confused. Like, I, would question God, like, why is this happening to me? Like, why are these things happening? Like, I try to, do these right things or try to be good or try to blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm doing the right things. Why am I experiencing it? So I felt like it just brought anger.
Well, would you describe it like another emotion that it brought in? Was it like maybe confusion, doubt, anything else that you think you might have felt?
Confusion, sadness.
Why sadness?
Because I feel like I always knew that there was something wrong with it. Like, it didn't feel right.
So you knew something was dysfunctional about everything there.
Yes.
So you had a feeling, a gut wrenching feeling that like this should be different.
Yeah.
And so that brought sadness. Well, like I want to know more. I'm curious.
I feel like growing up that way, I felt I started having a lot of like mental health issues from like a really, really young age because of that.
Yeah, it makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, keep going. I want to hear. Yeah.
So I feel like, I don't know, I felt I had to be hidden and like I learned to be a different person to whoever I was around. I came hyper aware, footsteps, a certain volume or a certain, like speed. I could pick up on someone's emotions like that. And I feel like I had to become very, like, kind of like I just had to be good.
Perfect.
I had to be perfect. Yeah.
And so what happened when you weren't? What did that do to your heart when you messed up? Or when you life happened, you screwed up? What happened?
Just shame. Like complete, just utter, like I'm horrible, like I can't get anything right. That's why these things happen to me. That's why I deserve these things, you know?
So like anything that bad happened, it was almost in a sense like, oh, okay, like this is what I get for messing up here or whatever. So like anything that life brought that inflicted pain, you thought you deserved it.
Yeah.
That's terrible. So with all that, how was Jesus in the midst of that? At least in your early years, like where do you find Jesus now looking in the past? Like, I mean, for someone, I'm shocked that you didn't lose, or like you didn't just like walk away from God in general, especially if that's the picture of God that was portrayed to you. Like, why didn't you walk away?
I feel like it was the one thing that made me feel loved. You know, I always had this like connection with, you know, these words that I would hear and these pictures or these, you know, ideas of what this whole thing is about, you know, and I felt like I didn't have anything else. So like, why would I would try to cling on to anything that would do that, you know? And there was a period of my life when I was kind of like teenage years that my parents had walked away from the church, and we kind of visited different churches, but we weren't like a part of a community.
Okay.
And I feel like during that time, like I was dealing with a lot of like other things in my life. But I kind of started building this little bit of like, I wouldn't say I completely walked away, but I started to kind of distance myself. And because I was angry that, well, I've done this my whole life. I've been, perfect. You know, and these bad things are still happening to me, and it's getting worse. You know, and it's not only just my family, now it's other people that are in my life.
Is there anything more you want to share? I'm literally like fascinated. These are the first time I'm hearing some of this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I just was angry, and I kind of, I don't know, I just kind of was just confused. And it's funny because I ended up coming back to church on my own as an adult because of that same situation. That the reason why I kind of pulled away was the same reason that kind of pulled me back in.
What pulled you away? I'm curious. Other, like your parents left, but what else happened in that period? And the reason I'm asking, I'm sorry to interrupt, but like I feel like there's so many people that can relate to you right now. Like your story it's unique, it's yours, and it rhymes with so many other people's stories. So like that's why I'm asking these questions. Like, so for someone who's watching, they're listening and they're probably really connecting with what you're going through. So you say your family pulled away from church, and during that time you were pulling away. What was happening that time?
I had experienced my first experiences with like domestic violence.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you got into a relationship that was very toxic. Yeah. Abusive. I mean, if you're comfortable, I'd love to hear it. Tell me more about it.
Like, yeah. I started, you know, as we do when we're kids, you start dating a little bit. And yeah, of course. I was in middle school, met this guy, and everything was fine as I thought. And it quickly turned abusive, but I didn't really realize that that's what it was. Middle school? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously we were kids, so like we didn't hang out outside of school, but it was over text and like in school, you know, and it was verbal and emotional, and I didn't really like understand. I was just like, okay, that's weird, but like I have been around it my whole life, you know. My family is pretty much predominantly all in domestic violence relationships, or has experienced that. And so to me, it was just like, that's just how.
This is normal.
Yeah.
But then also deep down inside, you knew this was dysfunctional.
Sort of.
Yeah. So
not yet.
It was like you were confused.
Yes.
Interesting. So at the age of like probably 13, 14,
like
maybe
12.
young, 12, you're already like dealing with something really bad. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just keep going.
It's okay.
Keep going.
Yeah. So that kind of started and kind of was very toxic, and that ended. And then
it normalized something in you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it was like, okay. And then I was sexually assaulted.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. And from probably 13 to 15, that happened by a couple different people. So that also, made it spiral worse.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. So it just kind of made me angry and confused and, oh, well, it's my fault, or I did this and that's why they did this, or whatever.
So you're blaming yourself.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
Yeah. And so I also didn't feel safe at home to tell them what was going on. And so I just kept it inside, and I didn't have a safe place to ask for help when I needed it. And so it just got worse.
Intensified.
Yeah.
So this was high school time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that the guy that I was dating, he was like my first like boyfriend. And so that kind of had happened and then kind of ended and then started back up again in freshman year and then ended sophomore year. And so it was like a year and a half of like actual being able to like hang out and like do stuff outside of school. Mm-hmm. And it progressively got worse. Okay. And I didn't really realize it would get to that extent until we were in high school. And it was different. Yeah.
So then you're seeing stuff at home, then you're experiencing it now outside of home, but in your personal life. I mean, it makes perfect sense why you were kind of like just slowly drifting away from Jesus, from all that. I mean, just the stuff that you're going through on just a heart level, I can't even like fathom. And you've been in some, things have been done to you that I wish no one on, and I'm sure I just can't even think about it. But when your sophomore year comes, like, what's going on? How does that happen? Like, what's that story for Sabrina?
I think I just knew it had to be done. I didn't know why, but it just was like, okay, this needs to just be
end. Okay.
So it did. And then I had met someone else and we started dating, and this was my junior year of high school, and I didn't realize how traumatized I was until I got into that relationship.
No, makes sense.
And my like PTSD really kicked in.
Sure.
Panic attacks, not sleeping.
Yeah.
People couldn't even hug me or touch me or anything, just something so small, and I would just
yeah.
Yeah, it was just,
it's hard to think about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. You keep going. Tell me more.
Yeah.
Tell me what, whatever you want. Here, listen.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just very confusing. It was very scary. It was very, I don't know. It was really sad that someone that young can experience something that horrific, and I had been in like counseling in school from my freshman year, because a friend from school had told a teacher that they were concerned about what was going on. So we had gone into therapy, thankfully, and so that kind of helped a little bit, but it still wasn't fully settling in what was happening to me.
Yeah.
And so, you know, as a result of all that trauma, that relationship kind of ended.
Yeah.
And then it led me into being an adult and finding myself in the same situation, but worse.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're out of high school and you get in a relationship with another guy, and this one's way worse.
Yeah.
Well, tell me whatever you want to tell me. I'm listening.
Yeah. I feel like I never fully healed from what happened to me.
That makes perfect sense.
You know?
You were so young.
Yeah. And so I didn't realize the signs. I didn't know that I could have something different. And so I grew up wanting to just fix things, just be the perfect person, be the fixer, be the one that everybody can rely on,
count on.
Yeah.
So you got so much responsibility on your shoulders. Okay.
Yeah. And so I started this relationship with this guy, and I had met him when I was younger, and so I was like, oh, you know, I can trust this guy, and we relate because we both like had kind of rough upbringings, and we would kind of chat on that. And so I was like, you know, I feel like this would be like a good thing. You know, we can kind of help each other, we can grow and be good. And I started dating him when I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
And we broke up, I think I was 21, almost 22.
So 2-3 years.
Yeah.
What was like...
Yeah,
what?
like 3-ish. Yeah.
Three mm-hmm. more? Okay. So what was this one like?
It was very love bombing.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
It was 100%, like full force, like from the get. You know, it was like he was so nice to me, and he was so generous and so kind and so like understanding, and he knew my past, and so he was very respectful of my boundaries and wasn't trying to be, how do I say it? Like, he wasn't trying to kind of come onto me in like a pushy way. Like, he was very respectful. And then I slowly started to see the cracks. You know, little by little, things started to change and shift.
Like, over time, you can't keep up the facade. Eventually, what's inside is really going to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that started to happen. Year 1, year 2.
Oh, no. It was very at the beginning. It was probably, oh, gosh, I don't know, like maybe a few months, maybe.
Now, for me, someone, by the grace of God, I've never experienced this. So I'm asking with a lot of humility. Why did you stay? Looking back now, like, you saw it so early on. Like, what was it that made you like, oh, it'll get better? Or maybe you didn't even think that, but I'm just asking. I don't know if that's a good question, but that's just the question I have.
I felt like I could change him. I could fix him if I just did the right things, if I said the right things. It would just be different, you know? And so, like I said, I feel like I normalized a lot of the behavior because I was so used to it. It was like, oh, I'm used to that. That's fine.
Yeah, that's not a big problem.
Yeah, like it's I can do this. You know, it almost felt like a challenge. Yeah.
And so when the challenges became more and more difficult, what was your way of thinking then? Like, how were you processing it? Like, the more I don't know, maybe the more you came to realize, like, I don't think I can fix this.
I feel like it was very back and forth. You know, I remember in the beginning, I was like, I almost felt like I would be a failure if I left, you know? And I didn't want to have another failed relationship. I just wanted to be good enough for someone.
Oh, wow. So because you wanted to be good enough for someone, you stuck it through suffering. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. And I felt like in a weird way, because he was more damaged than me, that I knew he would never leave me, and I felt security in that. I felt security in knowing that he was very unhealthy and toxic, and
he needed you.
Yeah.
So the fact that he needed you made you feel some way of like, oh, I can stay.
Yeah.
It gave you safety or
security too.
It's interesting.
In a weird way.
No. I mean, I don't. There's no shame about this. This is your story, and I don't mean to at all make you feel any shame. It's just like I'm starting to. Maybe you're giving language to someone watching.
Yes.
Someone who's in that relationship right now, and they are going through it like you were, and maybe they're now starting to see, like, as you're telling your story, they're watching, they're like, oh wait, that resonates with something I'm feeling, because when you're in the thick of it, like you were saying, it's like it's hard for you to kind of step back, look at it objectively, and be like, okay, that it's easy to do that in retrospect, but for someone in the midst of it, like, give us more language about what things were going on for you. Like, why were you staying? Why not leave? Did people tell you to get out? Or people like, hey, move, he's crazy, he's dangerous? Like, what were people telling you at the time?
Yeah, I was very isolated, right? And that's what abusers do, is they isolate you. So, I had friends kind of start to question and say, hey, like, I don't think this is okay, this doesn't seem right. And then it's either them or me. Like, they're doing this, see, they don't care about you, see, they blah blah blah. And it just became this cycle of isolating me from every single person in my life.
Ultimatum.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so was there an ultimatum with the church as well? Ultimatum with your family? Ultimatums with...
Yeah, with my family.
So your family was the one telling you need to leave?
Kind of. My Stephanie, she from the get was like, I don't like him, he's not good, you need to leave. And I feel like the more she would not only just tell me, but like shame me, like, why are you dealing with this? Why do you want to be with somebody who's like this? He's a loser, he's this, he's that, and making me feel low, it made me draw closer to him in a weird way. It made me feel, instead of making me feel supported, it made me feel even more isolated.
So then, I'm asking for me personally, like, because I've interacted with people in these similar situations in my pastoral ministry. Give me some help. I mean, like, how do I speak to these people? Or how would you speak to someone watching online? Or like, how would someone share with the person they love, yo, get out? Like, how do you say that without, like, the way I just said it, but how do you say that?
I would start with being curious, right? Because I feel like when you start very heavy,
defensive.
Yeah, it's very defensive, and it's like, hey.
Okay, we're here.
Yeah. And so I feel like you have to start with questions. How does that make you feel? Like, okay, what are you gonna do about that? Like, okay.
Like, kind of put it on their plate.
Yeah, and just ask and say, well, does he do this?
Mm-hmm.
Or does she do this? And say, I feel like questions are the best way to start. And slowly over time, I feel like you can start to build a closeness and a, like, safety with that person. Mm-hmm. Because people in abusive relationships are 9 times out of 10 completely isolated. And that's why they are able to do that to that person.
Because everyone that comes to them is really, like, strong. And then they push back. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, the abuser, whether male or female, is trying to keep them as isolated as possible. And so it's like, you got to find a way to subversively sneak yourself in there.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah.
So I know the statistics are like 7 times, I think it is. Like, people, women or men, they will go back and back and back and back. More women than men, obviously. But they'll go back to the abusers. And by the 7th time, that's when they'll think they'll leave. For you, what was that 7th time? Like, what was it that kind of just like, yo, I can't, I gotta go? Like, what was it that finally broke the straw? Like, tell us about those. I'm sure there's multiple stories, but whatever you want to share.
I was would say the main thing that really kind of flipped things for me was my dad's death. I feel like it changed my perspective on life and on just everything. And around that time, we were living together in an apartment, and because we were living together, it was extremely physically violent.
Yeah.
And so I knew, okay, this isn't good. But what really started to, my reasoning, I guess, that first thing that kind of was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Was I was in our apartment. I was getting ready, something mundane, nothing crazy. And I remember my ex was just sitting on the bed or whatever, and we were just kind of hanging out. And I remember him calling me. He was like, hey, like, Sabrina. And I go, yeah, like what? Like, doing my makeup, you know, not thinking anything, like normal conversation, think he's going to ask me something random. And he says, he goes, you really need to leave me.
Huh.
I'm like, what? I'm like, don't say that. Like, stop joking like that. And he's like, no, I'm serious. He's like, you really need to leave me, because if you don't, one of these days I'm going to end up killing you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He says that just like nonchalant.
Yeah. Just like it's a Tuesday. Yeah.
What did that do inside of you?
It scared me, you know, because other times when things would happen, it was, you know, because of something, or it was a fight, or was this, that. It was never like in a just like normal, like, we're hanging out. Yeah, like normal people don't talk like that.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a really scary, serious thing
to say to anyone.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then also pair that with physical violence, where like that is where it leads, you know, with, you know, he would strangle me and, you know, push me, pull my hair, slam my head into the wall, you know, things really terrifying. And then to also, you know, just say, I can just get through this, like it'll be fine. And then this like person that I saw in the beginning, this love bombing, this perfect, I'm gonna do everything for you.
Were you hoping that one would come back?
Oh yeah, because I knew at some point I just had to stick it out, because if I stuck it out, it would circle back around. And then the knight in shining armor was back. You know, I just had to hold out.
And you're holding out, and I'm curious, is it because you think you deserve this too?
Yeah. You know, years of being mistreated and abused as a kid really rewires your brain.
So, do you think you held on, like, also because, like, this is what you deserved?
Yeah. I think when you live a life of being abused, you don't know anything different. It rewires your brain to thinking this is just your life, you know, and you just start to accept it and try to say, well, this is what my life is going to look like. How can I try to make it happen less?
I just think of like the Holy Spirit, like just looking at you in those situations, and like his heart breaking, and all the other women and children and men who are going through this, and it's just like, you deserve so much more. Like, when did you start seeing that you deserve better?
I think
like he said that, and then
I feel like throughout my life I would kind of feel these like nudges, like the Holy Spirit kind of telling me these things, or kind of counteracting what was going on. And I remember it was the thick of like COVID and everything, so everybody was already isolated.
Oh my goodness.
And so I remember just being on my phone and videos would come up, and I have always kind of been interested in like true crime.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember hearing or listening to a lot of videos that were domestic violence cases, and I didn't purposely seek them out.
Because somewhere deep inside you knew this is your story.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And I would relate.
And you didn't want to relate?
No. It was scary because I'm like, oh, this is my future.
So you didn't want to relate because you knew that was your future. So you were running away in a sense from just like the truth? Or just like reality? Like you wanted to go back to like whatever thing that you were living in your mind about? Like, does that make sense? I don't know if I asked that right.
Yeah. I feel like I just felt like if I was patient enough or loving enough that I could just like help or get him help. And I had tried. I was like, okay, that's my first thing. I need to try to get him to go to therapy. Mm-hmm. And then that was a whole other fight.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Why would you want to change, when you're like that? And then, I kind of was just going through the motion and it was whatever. And then we were ending our lease at the apartment and I knew like, okay, this is my out. Okay. I just need to stick it out till the lease is done because I can't afford it. He can't afford it to break the lease. And like, I also don't trust him to leave him and possibly ruin my credit or whatever. So let me just like stick it out and then I'll be done.
Okay.
So that time comes, I move back to my parents, and he doesn't want to leave my parents. He comes to me and just, please let me stay for a night. And, I don't want to go home, and my house is just very chaotic and abusive, and you know how it is. Like, how could you send me back to that?
Interesting.
And so I let him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
That's okay. It's okay.
And and I then was like, okay, it's been 2 days. You got to go. And of course he freaks out and gets violent and like beats me up.
Yeah.
And so then he leaves. And for 6 months we were kind of on again, off again. And I knew I needed to get myself out. I just couldn't. I didn't know how. I just had this like trauma bond to this person. Like I loved him so much that I was willing to sacrifice my own safety for him until the last incident happened. And it was different than the times before. I went to hang out with a friend, and of course that set him off because it was a guy. And so, he did the whole, oh, don't leave, blah, blah, blah. And I still did. And I just remember him like chasing me to my car as I was trying to like leave.
Oh my God.
And I remember telling him like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is unhealthy. Like, I don't want to be with you. Like, we just need to end it. We can't keep doing this back and forth. Like, I need to be done.
Yeah.
And at first it was fine. It was like, fine, like, screw you then. Like, profanities. And so I'm gathering my things and I go to my car and he chases me to my car.
Okay.
And I finally am able to get back in the car and he gets in and I immediately say, okay, I need to call for help because he's not going to let me leave. So I go to call my mom and he is in the passenger seat of my car. He reaches over to the driver and he grabs the phone out of my hand.
Yeah.
And crushes it. And so obviously I let go. He hangs up. And immediately within a second, his hands are on my throat and he's strangling me. And I'm lifted off the seat. Mm-hmm. And at this point...
He's losing control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, he had been physically violent, but it was never to that extreme.
Okay. Oh gosh, Sabrina.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. So, he's has his hands around my throat. I'm trying to scream. No sound comes out. Because that's the force that he's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember thinking and pleading to God, like, just please let me get out of this, and I promise I'll never come back. Like, he's really going to kill me this time. Like, my parents are going to find me dead. Mm-hmm. And this is it. Like, this is, like, he was serious. Like, he meant it. And I just remember thinking to myself, I need to fight. I need to fight as hard as I can, because if I don't, this is it. I'm going to die. And so I did. I kicked and punched and tried to just do anything to get him to stop.
Good for you.
And he did.
Praise God.
Thank God. And, you know, I've never felt pain like that before.
Well, like physical?
Physical pain.
Okay.
You know, like, you know, he lets go of me. I fall back down on the seat.
You're like, you probably can't even breathe.
I can't breathe. I'm purple at this point.
Yeah.
And I just remember coughing to the point where I'm almost throwing up, where I cannot catch my air, my breath.
Makes perfect sense.
And I was just in so much pain. I couldn't talk. I lost my voice. I was just so, like, I mean, obviously lightheaded too, because I'm like just...
Yeah, you're deprived of oxygen.
Yeah.
So what got him out of the car?
I started screaming. The little bit that I could get out, I just remember screaming and just saying, get out, get out, get out, get out, now. Mm-hmm. And I just remember kept screaming, and I was just trying to, now that I could actually speak, make a scene so that he knew that neighbors could hear, people could hear. And so...
Yeah, because the last thing someone wants to do is be exposed.
Yeah.
And so you were trying to expose him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, and so I just was screaming and just trying to push him and just get out of my car, just get out, like, get away from me. And what's crazy is when someone does something like that to you, usually, in my situation anyway, they also are the one to comfort you after they do that.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after he lets go of me, he's like,
what?
Are you okay? Oh my, trying to check on me.
He's about to kill you, and then this guy just, what?
Is worried about me after they're the one who inflicted it.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so, what, I mean, I'm in the story, dude. This is crazy.
Yeah.
What happened?
I remember he got out, finally. He took my phone.
Obviously. He didn't want you to call anyone.
Yeah. And he had shattered it at this point. Mm-hmm. And so I just remember trying to leave, and he was blocking me in, and I just kind of was just like, okay, I just have to just get out little by little.
His car was blocking you?
No, his physical body.
Oh, in front of your car. He was
like standing behind my car, not letting me
Okay, got it.
leave. And so I finally was able to just like kind of inch my way like a little back, and kind of was like pushing him with the car a little bit.
Of course.
And so I finally got out, and I remember thinking, I can never go back. And the crazy thing is, I hadn't even got a block around the corner. He's calling me, and my phone connects through Bluetooth in my car. I answer. I also don't know who it is because my phone is completely shattered. I can't see the screen.
No, okay.
So I answer, and it's him. And he says, hey, so what are we going to have for dinner tonight?
No freaking way.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Yeah. Like it's a regular day. Because it was, you know?
What the heck? And what did you say?
I went off and I said, you will never see me again. I said, you are literally insane. I said, you literally almost killed me.
Yeah.
And now you want to call me and ask me what's for dinner? I said, don't ever reach out to me ever again. I'm done. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't show up. Like, leave me alone. Like, okay. I'm done.
Okay. What did he say?
He...
Just quiet?
Yeah, just kind of was just like, oh, like, just acting like nothing. Like, oh, okay, like, well, you know, like, I know you're mad. Like, I'll give you some time. Like, whatever.
I know you're mad.
Like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I was just upset.
Oh my goodness, man. I mean, how many other people in your shoes are going through something very similar? God help us, Lord. I mean, I'm just like, I can't wait for Jesus to come back. But yeah, let's. So you finally don't go back, and praise God you don't go back, because you probably would have died. And it breaks my heart to know that, like, for so long you thought you deserved that. When did you start realizing you don't?
I think when I started to really heal and go to therapy and unpack what happened to me, I started to realize that this isn't what life has to look like and what I actually deserve.
What do you deserve? What do they deserve? Someone who's watching. What do we deserve? Tell me about that. Like, what does that look like?
You know, I think you deserve patience and kindness and understanding and, you know, people who love you. When Tiago was a pastor, he
Great pastor, by the way.
Yeah, he introduced his book to the church, all about love. And in the book, it talks about how love and abuse can't coexist at the same time.
They can't.
And I feel like for a lot of people, it's confusing because they think it does.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. And when I started to realize that those two things can't coexist at the same time, I started to really realize, oh,
none of this was love.
No. And what love actually looks like. And really digging into what God says love's about.
You know, I was reading in a book today, love is an action.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think 1 Corinthians 13 really comes to my mind. Love is patient, love is kind, love is long-suffering. It does not boast, it does not envy. You know, and I think of all these different things. It does. And how can it do that and then do this at the same time? And like that was your upbringing and many other people's upbringings, that, okay, this can coexist with this, but we don't believe in yin yang. We believe that there was just God in the beginning, which was just good. Love. Sabrina, your story, we're going to have to put like a trigger warning on this, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I did not know. I just want to say thank you for sharing. And I want you to finish the podcast with just like what do you have to tell and let's just do young ladies, or I mean, it can happen at any age, but what would you tell people in your shoes right now who maybe resonated with your story, resonated with like, oh, I feel that, oh, I'm going through that, or I don't want to listen to maybe I don't want to listen to this podcast, because what would you tell them right now?
I would say it gets better. There's hope. You know, it feels very scary to leave, and it's also extremely dangerous to leave. But it does get better, and love can be a beautiful thing, but you just have to walk away when it's not and be okay with that. And it's gonna hurt. It was, you know, one of the most traumatic things that ever happened to me. I mean, even still today, it triggers me.
Yeah, I saw it in your eyes.
Yeah. It's hard to talk about, and it's hard to face because I'm so far separated from that person that I don't recognize this version of me.
The old Sabrina.
Yeah, which is beautiful, but it's possible. You'll slowly start to rebuild your life little by little, and you just have to stick with it and also really realize what you're worth and what you deserve, and that no one deserves that. It doesn't matter what you did to provoke them, or what you said, or how you grew up, or anything. Nobody deserves that. And even if it's not with a significant other, you can have deep, meaningful love with yourself, with friends, with church community, with life.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't always need to look like a relationship, but especially not like that. And sooner or later, the more you heal, the more you trust yourself and what you really deserve, love will come to you and healing.
It's beautiful. You know, I see that a lot in you, Sabrina. And I know that's a different conversation, but I am seeing you do that day by day here at the church with what you're going through right now. And I just want to let you know, like, it's inspiring. And I am so happy for you as a pastor, as a friend, and just another person in Christ Jesus. Truly. I think we're just going to close there, and thanks for joining us for Beyond the Pulpit. This was legit Beyond the Pulpit, bro.
This was beyond.
And if you want to come and share your story, we'd love to have you. David and I, we feel comfortable with David, interview with me. Or if you just want to sit and talk, we'd love to have you. And if you want to connect with Sabrina, Saturday morning, 9:30, she's at the cafe bar. She's single. Yeah, but only true love. And we got a community now, bro. We go through a discipleship process with that one too. But anyways, you can hang out with Sabrina and get to know more of her story. And hope to see you guys soon. Let's pray. Father, just thank you for stories. Thank you for how you're in the midst of every part of our story. And God, though we did not understand, you didn't stop. You kept working your will and your way in the midst of all the stuff that we have gone through. And you are with us now. And like Sabrina says, love finds a way. Father, you are love, and you are going to find a way to us. You have found a way to us through your Son, Jesus Christ. May we come to experience that love and then compare every other love to his, never ever compromising, but seeking the true love that we find in the Father. I pray this in the name of Jesus. Amen. We got Bible study, 6:30. If you ever want to come Wednesdays, let's do it. Bye, guys.